From a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
What'd you forget?
My fucking monster.
Oh, I can take care of that. We got you, man. Don't worry about that. That's an easy fix.
I can spit mine and you can drink out of
it. Wow. Hey, folks. Welcome to From the Ashes Radio From the Ashes Radio on About Face Media. So one of the best parts of being military or motorcycle relief project or things like that is you have friends that are from all over the world. We've had Eric Reed in studio from Texas. We've had Nick Burney in studio from California. No matter what he tells his neighbors in Texas, he's from California. Don't let him lie to you. And we have friends like Joe who come down all the way from Alaska to come be a part of From the Ashes. So if you have ever been on a motorcycle relief project ride, if you know anything about motorcycle relief project, Joe is slave labor for MRP. So Joe. Yeah. Welcome to the super secret location. I'm amazed you made it past all the security.
I am amazed by the landmines. I mean, the vast amount of landmines that you all have out there was just like, I was calling Seth and I'm like, where the okay, I made it. I'm not dead. So I did pretty good.
But you got one of those super cool bikes that's made for that stuff. And by super cool, never mind.
It doesn't say those two letters on it.
Does yours have a clutch?
It does.
I like you better
and
than
I even have to use it.
Not all of the best motorcycles have clutches on them. I'll have you both know.
Those of us who don't break our clutches or don't burn them out because we go into
No. So the Honda Africa Twin does not have a clutch. It has what's called dual clutch technology. For those of us that have risen above clutches.
You have no idea how many of those I've seen burnt out in the sands and left to die in like Phoenix and the sandy beaches.
No, and that's super cool. I get it. I mean, because the Harley doesn't even make it out of the garage, so that is super cool that they're dying in the sand. Sorry, man, don't hit me.
It's totally true. A friend of mine has that Pan Am, and
I have so many. Can you get a stand for the laptop so I'm not looking at your crotch?
I was about to make a joke and somebody ruined it. I was like, are you trying to create some POV like grabbers?
I'm not sure that makes it any better. Look at that.
I would call that worse, folks. I'm not sure if that's better at all.
Back like this.
No, they're not like looking up our nostrils.
Oh, I asked them. I did ask him. I said, "Geez, you guys are all dressed up for me because."
I did put on my long shorts.
You didn't put,
I'm wearing pants.
You didn't put your Ranger panties on. I mean, come on. That's what I'm here for. The show.
Usually, there's some huggers on. But,
Joe, do you wear flip flops?
I do not.
What are those?
You do not own?
No, because I wear socks and I can't stand the idea of getting that stuff.
You should go to combatflipflops.com and enter the code ABOUTFACE, and you'll get 30% off of your flip flops, and we get 15% of that to our nonprofit. It's super cool. I have been
looking at that. It's been coming up in my Facebook feed.
Well, you should see. Look at you. Do you wear shorts?
Almost daily.
You should wear more shorts. You know where you can get good shorts?
Where's that?
Thigh huggers.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
If you enter the code, what is it again?
One shot.
You'll get 30% off of your shorts, and we get 15%.
So everybody sit really nice and good, and we'll talk about one shot.
So it's going to be a hell of a show tonight. We are going to have,
especially if we just sit here and talk.
Let's just do this.
Can we just change the code to crotch shot? I'm just wondering.
These nuts.
Yeah.
We have Representative David Ortiz from House District 38 here in Colorado is going to be on the show. He's in legislation right now, so our interview may or may not get short, go long, whatever the case may be. We have Allie in just a little while. We have O'Connell West Law is back with us tonight. So we're going to have Trin. You're going to like Trin. She's a motorcycle rider. She rides an Indian. Wow. And then we're going to go a little bit long tonight, and we have Comeback Yoga to talk about the Battle Buddy program coming up for the month of May. So you guys will like it. It's going to be a hell of a show. Thanks, Seth. John, much better. That's awesome.
Now you get a full spectrum view.
Who was it that sent you the patch? What does it? Support our troops except Carl. Nobody likes Carl. He's a dick.
So nobody sent me that. I saw it on my old battalion commander's Facebook feed. And his name's Carl, by the way. And he's like,
he needs to just make a T-shirt. Make a T-shirt.
We should have T-shirts. It's something that
That'd be a fabulous
nobody
T-shirt.
likes Carl. I know the camera adds 10 pounds, but how many cameras are we using right now?
This camera angle is just really, it doesn't make any of us look svelte. Like,
so our Carl for the week is my favorite. I love this. No, that's the. Oh, here we go. I love the stories that come out of. You ever jump out of an airplane?
yes.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it.
You were airborne for how long? Most of your career, right?
no.
How
Not
long
in
were you
my
airborne? No, I thought
No.
you were airborne. You were
So
airsoft.
I'm a five jump fucking.
Oh, did it? Called it good.
Yeah,
Done.
yeah.
Out. Got the badge.
I didn't even get the badge, but I have done it quite a bit.
I never had to do a mass tack, which I'm very thankful for. Where 17 different airplanes are jumping at different levels. I never had to do that.
That would freak me out bad enough. I mean, I jumped with a bunch of idiots because I was in airborne school. But I can't even imagine that many idiots. There's a lot of Carls if you got 17 C-130s.
That's exactly my line of thinking. Is
There might even be some Carols in there.
well, we'd have to ask
There
Eric
are.
Reed. I bet you he's done a lot of mass tacks, being with the 173rd for as long as he was. But yeah, I'm so glad I never had to do that. But our story for this week for Carl comes in airdrops. There's always a chance that something could go wrong, and that's exactly what happened recently. I love stories that start like that. When a Humvee slipped out of its parachute after it was dropped from an Air Force C-17 over Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Thankfully, no paratroopers were hurt. We're very happy about that. In the incident, said Army Lieutenant Colonel Brett Lay, a spokesman for the 82nd Airborne Division, on October 14th, a military vehicle. October 14th. This isn't recent. A military vehicle being airdropped at Sicily drop zone during an airborne operation sustained a tear in one of its suspension slings. Can you imagine being on the DZ, and you're I don't even know, the safety officer or something like that. And all of a sudden you see a Humvee with no parachute just screeching towards the ground at Mach speed. I think that would be kind of awesome. Reed, you ever had that happen? Or any of our listeners, have you ever had that
You know
happen?
what I'm laughing about is last week I admitted something to you. You remember that story?
Mhm.
I failed something. Now you already forgot?
No, I remember. But what did you
I had to
fail?
recycle something.
He's asking.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah,
asking
yeah,
which
yeah.
one you failed. That's
I had to recycle air assault school because I failed the sling loads.
Mhm.
I'm imagining
Yeah.
Carl screwed up this sling load with something. I could have been Carl.
Could be.
It's the only thing I've ever recycled or failed in the Army.
I mean, dude, that is one of the toughest schools, and it's only 10 days long.
It is not a tough school. That's what we send the pack crew. What the fuck are you talking about? That was
Air assault?
I made so much fun of that school until I recycled it.
So many people fail out on day 0. They
Who?
bomb on day 0. Lots because they
the
fail
ones
the
that come and try to be sober.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm so confused.
So I had lots of people fail flight medic school, which is, I mean, it's a gentleman's course. There's no other way to say it.
I thought air assault school was a gentleman's course.
It probably was for you. What rank were you when you went?
E5. I think I was an E5.
I don't know.
I mean, all the privates left the same time I did. We didn't sleep there. That's what I've always defined a gentleman's course. How do you define a gentleman's course?
If you leave training to go to a hotel.
I mean, I went home. I lived down the road from East Range.
I keep forgetting that they brought it to Hawaii for
Yeah.
you. I keep forgetting that.
There was a
They
whole
brought
Army
it
thing.
to you.
So they brought air assault school to Hawaii. No, Hawaii I thought was Hawaii and Fort Campbell are 2 homes of air assault school. They have permanent schools, but it was there my whole career.
I've had friends that have gone at Fort Bliss and El
Yes.
Paso and what's the other one? New York, Watertown, New York.
Drum.
It goes on, all goes on sling load, 100% 1995, bitches. Nope on a rope from the Swearing In
Nope on a
podcast. Looking out, where's the Lysol? Fix that. Hold on, I can fix that. It's in our infirmary. Hold on.
So anyway, back to this. That was the school because it was down the road. They sent everybody to when they're trying to get the cook to re-enlist. They're like, hey,
You want to go to air assault school?
That's,
You know what I mean?
that's an even better view right there. Yeah.
What? You know what?
Oh.
I think you need your own radio show. You're kind of good at this.
That's an even better view.
Let me check to make sure. See, that's awesome. Joe, so what brings you into Colorado from Alaska?
Well, tomorrow the women's ride actually ended. this last week with MRP. So tomorrow I am unpacking trailers, but I am in Colorado because the state of Colorado brought me in to do motorcycle training.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How was the women's ride?
I wasn't there. I just get to come and clean up the aftermath.
Yeah.
Right? I get to do the oil changes and the mechanicing and the wrenching.
I have been the egg breaker. I get it.
I'm just
tell our listeners about Motorcycle Relief Project and specifically the women's ride or whatever else you want to talk about.
Well, actually, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about was the fundraisers that I do up in Alaska, because it's something that I think you guys should look at bringing to Colorado.
Tell me about your fundraisers.
So I'm
guessing strippers, high heels.
Oh, absolutely. Easter eggs, all kinds of things to find. I work with a program up there. We call it the 2200 ride. And what we do is it's 22 days long. And in 22 days, every rider gets $222 in sponsorships. And we have 22 checkpoints, and people travel 2,200 miles traveling around Alaska, going to checkpoints. And then we take all of that money and we put it into veterans relief projects and first responder projects. So
we do it next summer, bro.
I don't know, how cold is it?
We do it in July, so we're talking about 70s, 80s.
Okay.
70s or 80s, and then like I said, it's 22 days long. It starts the 1st of July. However long it takes you to do the whole route is however long it takes you. And then the last day is the last checkpoint, which is the 22nd of July. And there's a giant veterans party that happens, and we bring it there, and veterans hang out for the entire weekend, and then we close it out, and all of the money from that entire project goes to supporting veteran relief programs.
I was supposed to go hunting in Alaska this year, and because I got a new job, that has completely fallen apart. But a motorcycle ride through Alaska would be even cooler. The Last Frontier, Alaska. Lysol is the aiming stake on the perimeter. There's some potential here. I like what you're doing. So let's say I don't ride an adventure bike. I ride this piece of shit Harley.
But most people in Alaska ride piece of shit Harleys. It's okay.
Well, here's the thing. Harleys run really good in the cold. This is not a lie.
No, they keep everybody toasty and warm. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
And when they drop and dribble oil, we just light it behind them, and it's all good.
Junior is screaming at the radio right now, like, motherfucker.
Oh, my dad's an idiot.
So our original 22 checkpoints are all done on main road systems, and then we put out Easter egg checkpoints that are up in Prudhoe, up on the Arctic Slope, different places, and we hide Easter egg places for ADVs.
That is cool.
If people want more information, how can they find more information?
You can find us at Alaska's 2200 on Facebook. That's the first place you're going to find us, because website won't be up till next week.
What does it cost to ride? I'm guessing you got to
all
find
we do is
it's
a $20. Nope, it's a $20 entry fee to get into the long distance ride that we do, and then we ask you to get $222 in sponsors. Last year we raised $35,000 in 30 days.
Wow!
And that money, just all of it, got turned around and put into last year. We put it into the local YMCA on base, and what they did is they took junior enlisted peer personnel and got them out to do activities and projects around Alaska.
We've raised a solid, probably, she raised 35,000, so that we've raised
in 30 days
300 in 3 years. So yeah, we're catch up. Yeah, I mean, it'll take a little bit, but speaking of which, if you'd like to support what we do at About Face Radio and About Face Media, and would like to put another DJ on the air or help somebody write a book or make a movie, you can go to our website, About Face. And you can make a donation right on there, and our Venmo and all that stuff is there. We'd really appreciate having your support. So it is 6:15. So theoretically right now we should have David Ortiz in the green room. He is not. So he is in legislation right now. So it's a very real possibility that he's in the middle of a vote or something to that extent. Not a big deal. If he comes on, that's cool. If he doesn't, that's cool too. We understand that he's doing very important work. For those that don't know, Representative Ortiz was a pilot in the Army. He is now a paralyzed veteran and now represents House District 38 here in Colorado. But yeah, that's okay. We can move on and we'll do other stuff. MRP, talk to us about Motorcycle Relief Project.
So I was accepted last summer. I came down last summer with Motorcycle Relief Project. After a few years, they finally opened it up to first responders. So technically, I fall under first responders. I started as a firefighter when I was 17 years old in the volunteer corps, and then eventually I ended up working for the Salvation Army, and then went overseas and was working as a humanitarian aid worker in lots of overseas deployments.
Very cool.
So
where else did you go?
Lots of places.
So
if there was a humanitarian aid project from about 1993 to 2010,
so like Aurora, Colorado, Detroit, places like that.
I was deployed out of St. Louis. How's that?
Wow.
So I did do places like Bosnia, Ethiopia, things like that.
What a dump, Bosnia. Good Lord. Ugh.
Yeah.
My goodness. I don't know. When did you go? Would have been like 96?
Yes.
Or so, plus or minus. Yeah. I was in Kosovo, 99, 2000. And I learned a ton. It was the best leadership lab I've ever been a part of. But good Lord, the dysfunction over there in the Balkans is just kind of incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things that I tell people those are the opportunities where I was handing out tennis shoes in the morning, and then in the afternoon I was doing a different job. Mm-hmm. So it was just, there was always something happening, and it was not always it was a great experience for a, 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid that was getting to go and do lots of crazy things.
Eric Reed says, I can jump on and talk politics if Representative Ortiz. No, that's okay.
Yeah, not
Reed.
allowed.
Yeah, that's okay, man. Appreciate it. Unless you're running for office. For those that don't know, I am running for president in 2024.
Again?
But still,
Oh, is it
it's
still?
the same.
Is that the same one?
We've
Same
slightly,
one that I saw?
yes, we've slightly expanded the campaign. I have 3 things I'm running on.
Are we leaving you on the losertarian ticket or
The losertarian. Don't laugh at her shit. What are you laughing about?
I laughed.
Do you want to be invited back?
I laughed at your joke before the show. You had a good joke before the show. I laughed.
How are you gonna laugh at her shit?
because it was funny?
It was good. You know what? He also won't allow me to be his VP.
That's not. I need you in the cabinet.
Going through
Well,
different,
really,
different ideas
I think if
of
you
job
want to
form.
win, you got to put Allie in there because Allie's just gonna churn votes for you.
I think that would be a good idea.
I like what you did there.
Allie's VP. I can be.
I need you in the cabinet. I need you as Secretary of Big Guns or something like that. I need you to be a part of the cabinet. Eric Reed. I'm running for Texas governor. Good luck, guys.
That was a good joke.
For a couple different reasons.
Got it.
Yeah.
I did. Eric did.
He did.
Oh, God.
So
I'm stopping.
vote Rob Williams and Eileen. We'll have to ask Eileen if she's available.
Eileen?
Eileen in 2024.
Okay. What are you running on? We've talked.
The most important thing has to happen. I will not sway left or right. Day 1 of my presidency, I will legalize lane splitting for all motorcycles across the nation.
Okay.
Everywhere. Well, what? No?
No, I'm like, wow, I wonder how many doors are going to get opened on people.
It happens.
It does.
It happens. Our
You know what?
nation-
Just for those people that think that's a good idea, that your door comes off.
aggressive.
Like you ride
a 1,200 pound,
brutally
600 pound motorcycle.
injured
With
somebody.
aluminum panniers right now because
But
Does your bike have a name?
no.
I like your attitude. Does
No.
your bike have a name?
no,
I
I've never named a. Oh, I take that back. I named my first vehicle when I got the new Durango.
Mhm.
Me and Cannon decided to name it.
Eric Reed says, "Come
Wait.
on, a black Republican? They'd love me."
I knew he had something.
I know that's something. Yeah, exactly.
No. There's no stickers go on the bike either.
No.
No. See,
Where do you put your
See,
decals?
every time I put a sticker on the bike, bad things happen. So today,
That's the whole reason I own a motorcycle. That's where I
he
keep
gave
my
me
stickers.
stickers today. So poor Marty, he gave me a sticker today, put motor relief sticker on my bike, and I'm standing there and I'm going, I don't know if I can do it.
The one on the front?
Nope. He made me retro reflective 70s sparkles lights. So
I like that Marty makes stickers now.
he made me retro reflective, super sparkly 70s stickers.
Marty's never bored. You've met Marty one time. You met him at what's that auto shop we were at? Bighorn. You met him at Bighorn.
Okay.
You met him at the MRP banquet.
Oh yeah, you
in
met him
December.
Okay.
You just don't
I met
remember
a
me because I
lot
was
of
behind the counter selling T-shirts.
I met a lot of people with that.
You did, and they all talk about it. They all know you.
Well, I'm unforgettable.
Yeah,
it was
true.
the shorts.
So the other,
It was the shorts.
which, by the way, I noticed your horns on the helmet. We still have those. No one won those, so we still have
Josh,
those.
did you know that Helmet Flare actually they gave us an entire kit for every female that was on the ride?
Are you serious? Is it all pink horns?
No, there was a mix. So there were horns, there were kitty ears, there were
Hey.
I think there might even been a unicorn horn in there. Helmet
Junior
Flare
says, "What are the other two things that you're running on?"
I know it's not. It's your campaign.
Look,
I just make sure you don't forget details.
Mr. Secretary.
Okay,
Well, we did have an idea earlier that we definitely need monster sponsorship.
We
And
do.
so
that would be nice.
Yes.
if
I
Monster
would say
sponsored
that
your campaign.
that one of your things on your campaign should be
Doesn't really do it. Monster Energy.
because
Look,
because we have a massive level of addiction in this
Yeah.
room.
if they're gonna
So,
support the cross.
The other one for reality is that violators of stolen valor
Mhm.
will get the death penalty
Can I do it?
by
Sorry.
There's a line. You're not at the front of it, but you're in it.
by a firing squad, and we sell tickets to.
Can we only do it if it's 1,000-yard range?
We are going. We're. It's
You
gonna be the
know,
best
I
campaign
know
ever.
a lot of really
because then it takes
bored
longer.
human hunters that they're bored. now,
I
so now
can't
hunting
wait
humans.
for the presidential debates. Because people were like, Mr. Williams, so you're running on the public execution of people for stolen valor. Yes.
Yeah,
That's exactly
you have a
right.
problem with it?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't lie about who you are.
Exactly.
Down the way.
We get it in every once a show. It's
So
awesome.
how many henchmen do we have so far on the list? Just curious.
Henchmen? Oh no, there's a long list of people that have signed up for to be part of it. Yeah, a long list. It's a very long list. Let's put it that way. Lots of people want to help with that part.
Okay,
of
but we
the-
were talking about how much those bullets cost earlier. So
Yeah,
if
We're
I already,
selling tickets to this.
but if I already have a stash of bullets, do I get to go first?
I like where your head is. I like where your head is a lot.
Do I get to sell the bullets?
Well, so we're gonna have ticket sales. It's gonna be like a UFC event. We'll have ring
We could,
girls,
like,
people
auction
walking
off-
around with like.
Wait, we could auction off the right to have the casing engraved with your name,
I can do that.
right?
Wait,
You show
I
up,
already do that.
bring the round, set it down in front of us.
This is around
and-
sponsored
who
by
would-
so and so.
who would you like this to go to?
$228 million for the ability to say that their name's
Yeah,
all around the.
That's
So,
it.
so I'll tell you this story because this is funny. One of the deployments that I was on, I used to take a round, and I used to tell people that they could have one round if they sent me 10 stuffed animals. And the guys on the deployment, they would get one round, and they were allowed to shoot my rifle with one round, as long as they had somebody
you
send me
14 fur
I had to
babies
have
or whatever they're
10
called.
stuffed animals that I could give away to kids.
What were
in
those ones
villages.
called? The
Oh, I was
little-
about to say
Beanie
you have a
Babies.
lot
I was
of
actually
stuffed
using.
animals,
I
but
was.
that's a great idea.
That's what I did. I had them vacuum seal them
It's
down.
for the children.
and
People.
send them. So this is. And I became a kindergarten teacher after. Like, they're trying to figure out if I'm serious. But
Elect
really
me
I did.
for the children.
Okay, are we going to do your third?
Oh,
thing
third.
you're standing
Sorry.
on?
Go.
Are you? Why do I have to do this for you? Am I your campaign manager?
So,
We're going to fire whatever that person's. What's their job title? Whoever's the head MF of the VA.
Well,
Fired, and then the VA leveling the buildings too. Just get rid of Sage can't fix those buildings. Leveled.
the Department of Veterans Affairs will be dismantled on day 2 of my presidency. Completely dismantled. It'll be. Remember the movie Office Space? The guy that sat in the basement with the red stapler. That's the only guy that's going to be working for the Department of Veterans Affairs.
He doesn't get paid, right?
I believe, well, we
The
fixed
red
the pay
stapler guy?
problem. We
Yeah,
just
he
figured
does.
the rest of it would take care of
Okay.
itself. I'm running on federalizing legal pot, no permit carry, pro-choice, and no helmet laws. Basically, if you don't want to do it, go for it.
Oh, so like everybody else.
So Eric Reed, so a libertarian. Yes, so vote Williams in 2024, legalize lane splitting, public execution for stolen valor and pedophiles. Add them to the list
Well,
as well.
DeSantis already did that. No,
I know. I love
Then we have to start defining
I was
pedophiles.
so
and I'm like, that's such a big list.
Is it
I mean, yeah.
anybody that touches kids?
Wow. Yeah, you know my week. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Can I get on that line?
And immediately dismantling the Department of Veterans Affairs. An advocate or supporter of political philosophy that advocates only minimal. We're defining libertarianism. A person who advocates civil liberty. Yeah, that's pretty close to it. Yeah, you got it, man.
This is definitely not a political show.
No, in no way. In no
But
way.
I do want to hear from everybody how they feel about DeSantis's change in Florida, where we can whack a freaking second or
Now, do they have to go to trial, or
I
are you
don't
able to
know
just give
either.
them
I mean, we're
anything
just
else?
talking out like outright vigilantism there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What if I
don't-
missed being on the motorcycle for the last week? When did this happen?
No, it happened what last
Oh,
Friday.
well,
It's
yeah.
this week. Yeah, but
Where was I?
It's only Monday, bro.
I have zero. Oh, it is Monday. Ignore me.
So this is what happens when you get lost in your helmet for a week or two. Really.
Sounds
It's-
awesome.
I think I'm actually at 6 weeks. So.
How long did it take getting down here from Alaska?
Which time?
This time.
I didn't come all the way from there.
Where'd you come from?
Salt Lake. No, I've been on the road for 6 weeks. So I've been Boise. I went down to Keith and did training down with Crooked Raven down in
Oh, God, I love that guy.
Phoenix. And then I was working here in Colorado in
He's
Grand
easy,
Junction and then zipped over to
How
Salt
could they
Lake.
possibly?
Just because they do. You know that they're those little ninjas that he's got running around out. Come on. He's got little ninjas running around. So I do Olympic shooting on top of all the other crazy things I do. So
Have you found a way to carry it on the GS? That has been a challenge around here. Do you know? You remember Rob? What's his nuts? Rob. I can't think of Rob's last name. I just call him Rob all the time. He and I are developing a holster for shotguns for motorcycles.
have you seen those for the KLRs?
I have not.
Oh yeah. So KLR people, we farkle and do all kinds of weird things.
Do you own a
And
KLR?
I did. So I was totally an adventure whore. I started on a KLR and then moved over to a V-Strom and then got a Tiger and then I got a BMW and then I totaled the BMW and I got another BMW and I totaled that BMW.
Sounds familiar. I have very similar stories. My wrist hurt just hearing you say that you totaled your BMW.
My ribs just go, oh yeah,
Ow.
oh yeah, ow.
Achy in spots.
So that one that's out there, that one that's out there is a replacement from a GSA that I took off a 30-foot cliff. Yeah. I have some adventures.
So you do some stuff on the side, remind me.
Okay, so
it's not quite a VSO, but you're helping veterans.
I
Talk me through
do.
this.
So
Just only because I'm seeing Allie in the green room.
Oh, okay. So I go through and because I cannot get veteran services, I go and I sit down with other veterans and I go, let's make sure that we start getting you what you need. So a lot of the things that I learned from here or that I've even heard from Allie and in other places, it's me sitting down with veterans and saying, let's get you all the services that you deserve. Because somebody like me who's a contractor, the American government just goes, get fucked, right? Sorry, was this an R-rated show? Or
No. That's what's nice about the internet is you can do whatever you want.
So
I've been thinking about taking my pants off.
We're on the dark web.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
So for somebody like me, everybody goes, get fucked. And so I go, well, no, let's go ahead and let's just help the VA along. And so I help veterans do that. So when they have a question, they call and I go, let's see if we can figure it out. So a number of the different combat vets that I've worked with, and friends that I've had, I make sure that they get taken care of. So
And-
TBI guys, all of that.
I like that you are a regular listener and participant in the show, and I'll always offer commentary and advice and keep helping out with things. Allie, you buy a bike yet? Allie, are you up in the green room? I see you that you're popped in. If you are interested in coming on early, our teammates would love to have you on a little early. I see you nodding. So I'm going to bring Allie in a little bit early.
So that's where those the headset, that's where those ears should go. The horns in the ears. And then you can mount them on there.
That's a good idea.
That's what I actually.
Little devil horns on the side of her headphones.
I wear them on my headset like that. So I take them off my helmet. They're magnets. They magnetize and they just move them around. And I totally do that.
If you buy it, I'll wear it.
Oh, really?
Oh, baby.
I say that to my wife all the time, and look how that goes.
You have no idea what you're getting into, sweetie.
Allie, this is my best friend in the world, Joe. Joe, this is my best friend in the whole world, Allie.
Just says he doesn't have a lot of friends.
Well, and his best friends are women, so I mean, good taste.
Ah!
Well, yeah.
You did introduce me to one upstairs.
Yeah. Well, yes, that is Crystal.
I'm not quite sure I'm not getting into that.
Crystal is our chief of security. So yes.
One shot. How
Allie?
you feeling? Yeah.
Better now that I'm here with you.
Oh, not you.
Yes.
I'm like, she wasn't talking to you.
I know.
It's a rough day. Rob's making me go to the ER tomorrow.
Why?
He tried to make me do it tonight, but I'm not doing it.
Why? Look at that face. Wouldn't you want that to go to the ER?
I mean, I don't gotta look at him all the time.
Coming out of this man is not joy.
Rob believes I could potentially have an ear infection or infection in my knee thing.
Yeah, that's serious.
So that's why you weren't wearing shorts.
Are you seeing the comments, Allie? Some
No.
of our folks who haven't seen you in a while are very happy that you're here today.
Well, it's because they didn't tune into the show last week because I was here last week.
Well, so that's the problem is that our listeners, we turn them on to jujitsu. So jujitsu class is the exact same time as From the Ashes.
That's
on
fair.
About Face Media. So they're getting choked when they could be listening to us. So
That's
you
fair.
get it.
I mean, getting choked is fun. In the right environment. In the right environment.
So where are we going?
No, listen. So I say that because, listen, all right. So the other day, a couple weeks ago.
No, you don't have to explain now.
Oh no, she does.
I'll explain. So 2 weeks ago, I'm driving home, and I don't know where I was, like from what I was coming home from. And there's a variety store, like a convenience store. And as I'm pulling up to the light, the convenience store is to my right. And I see these two guys just duking it out, right? And this little dude is just getting his egg cracked, right? And I'm like, holy crap. So I just put my car in park, put on my hazards, and jumped out. Got behind the guy, jumped on him, put one in a headlock, took the other guy, pulled him down with me, did a rear naked choke. And the guy's like, let go. I'm like, let go of this little guy first, right? So I had just gotten hired with the city of Taunton. So big news, I'm no longer with the town of Foxborough. I'm now with the city of Taunton. So I had just gotten hired. Hadn't started yet, right? So the guy finished it. He ended up having a sharpened screwdriver, which I didn't know at the time. I saw it and I threw it. So I kind of scolded them like, there are kids around, civility, right? So I get in my car and I just take off. Apparently someone called the cops or whatever. Later, I found out when I start in Taunton that the chief of police was looking for me. Well, somebody took video of that because some woman said to the woman who got out and broke up that fight, that was badass. I wanted to help, but I just had surgery, blah, blah, blah. Somebody else chimed in and said, I have video. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm going to get fired before I even start, right? Because now I'm a city employee. So I had to talk to the chief of staff. My man friend actually talked me into telling the chief of staff because I just wanted to lay low. So I find the guy. I'm like, listen, please don't post the video. I'm a city employee. I don't want to get in trouble. So he started recording when I had already taken them down. So that video had circulated stuff, right? So I sent it to my guy friend and they're like, oh my God, who is this bitch? Blah, blah, blah. And Joe is like, that's my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend. So my very first day walking into town hall, the CFO was walking in and I hadn't met anybody. And he's like, hi, I'm Pat. I'm like, hi, I'm Allie. He's like, I love the video. And I'm thinking it's an interview I had just done. I'm like, oh, what video? He's like, you taking down those guys? And I'm so embarrassed. I didn't even know this guy's name, but he had watched the video. The police department has watched the video. The mayor watched the video. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed.
But your friend, the presidential candidate, hasn't had a chance to see it? What the heck, man?
So I will send it to you after the show.
This will be good. See, this is why we had to change from About Face Radio to About Face Media. Because now we're going to be publishing videos. See,
I mean, seriously, that video that video, you will win just like that.
But it doesn't show the takedown. It just shows when I'm already on the ground and I got the guy in a headlock and he's like, let go of me. And I'm like, dude, let go of him first. And he's trying to, you'll see it. But fighting, grown men fighting in the middle of a parking lot. Like, that is ridiculous. This isn't middle school.
So, Allie, before you came on, we were having a discussion and we need to make a proposal to you. So I am running for president in 2024. I'm sure you've heard this before.
Of the United States of America?
Is there another one?
There's several presidents of different countries.
Yes, of the United States of America,
All
the
right.
best nation in the world.
Do you need my endorsement?
No, I assumed that was coming.
We've already taken this to executive.
Yeah, exactly.
To the next level.
So we have the Secretary of Large Firearms and we have the Secretary of Two-Wheel Vehicles.
And I will be the Secretary of...
We would like you to be my running mate. Would you like to be the vice president?
Yes!
Yeah,
as long as they don't do a background check, because I got some shit in my closet.
No.
The likelihood of that happening is pretty slim.
You missed that because this is part of the Lusitarian Party, so you're just fine.
Awesome. I mean, I can't do any worse than the last two guys, so I'm in. I'm in. We need a slogan. We need a slogan.
We need a
campaign.
We have a video of you kicking the shit out of two people. We need.
That's the marketing material.
Williams Rodriguez 2024.
It sounds good, right? Williams Rodriguez 20. I like that.
Yeah. So not a VSO for Foxborough.
No, I'm now the VSO in Taunton. So same job, just different location.
Lots of comments asking for the video, and people are watching on Twitter. I didn't even know we broadcast on Twitter. That's kind of cool. And I set the show up. I didn't know that. Cool. All right, there it is. The Williams Rodriguez ticket 2024. You've heard our platform.
I wasn't listening to the show.
Okay, so we only have 3 things on the platform.
Okay, tell me. One.
First is legalization, and the most important thing, legalization of lane splitting for motorcycles across the nation, effective day 1.
I'm in. 2.
I knew you would be. 2, public execution for those convicted of stolen valor.
I'm so fucking in. Number 3.
Well, Seth's got a whole plan here. He's like selling tickets and
yes, you have to bring in revenue. We bring in revenue, we lower taxes.
If you're a shooter, you get to auction off your round. Okay, so you can have whoever pays the most. Company, fucking Walmart can go on there. Lysol could sponsor a round, engrave the casing of the round. We know it's going into a stolen valor individual.
And that's the stolen valor. I think we should extend that to kitty diddlers as well.
Look at you. That was literally added to the platform 3 minutes ago. Congratulations. Welcome to the platform. And last but certainly not least, immediate abolishment of the Department of Veterans Affairs on day 2.
Oh, I don't know. That's gonna
we don't need those chuckleheads.
You don't need socialism. It's okay.
They're not paying our VSOs. They're killing our co-workers. We can do better. We can set up a much better system. As of tomorrow, all veterans would go on day 2 of my presidency. All veterans would be immediately assimilated into the healthcare system. If you like your doctor, you can keep it.
Who's gonna foot the bill?
What?
Who's gonna foot the bill?
We're just gonna make a bigger socialism version of medical care in this country. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. We're already dumping buckets of money into the VA. An article came out the other day that the first thing they're cutting is the Department of Veterans Affairs with this new budget.
So the CBO, right? I made a video about this. The Congressional Budget Office. They wanted to cut our benefits. It's just an idea. Hopefully, knock on wood, it's not going to happen. Secretary McDonough went on the record and he said, nobody is cutting your benefits. Nobody is going after your benefits. He's going to, make sure that it doesn't happen. And I don't think, honestly, say what you will, but I don't think Biden would do that. His son being a service member. But, stranger things have happened. So
one of our proudest pieces in the Motorcycle Relief Project World Headquarters is a check from Vice President Biden.
Oh, wow.
proudly in our world headquarters.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
He was on a commercial flight, ran into one of the people from our women's ride. She told him all about it. He wrote a check on the spot and handed it to her.
That is amazing. Wow.
It was not long after his son had died of cancer. So yeah.
Oh, talk about perfect opportunity.
He can't get anything else right. He's an advocate for veterans.
Yeah,
the
he is. And if anything, like that at least deserves the respect, right? Is that he is an advocate for veterans and he's done some good things. All his other policies, whatever. But
so my buddy Adis is listening to the show right now. Adis, for what you don't recognize right now, is every single person on the radio right now is a motorcycle rider. So yeah, you have the captive audience right this second, Adis. Adis runs Colorado Motor Service. Is the only place that will work on my motorcycles for me.
Wait, so I can get an oil change?
You absolutely can.
Where's he at?
Off Florida up in Denver. I'll send him your way.
Hey.
Adis, you got a customer coming tomorrow, man. Just like.
So I want to talk briefly about. So this happened today. Hypertension. Hypertension, up until the PACT Act, you could not file for. High blood pressure, because every motherfucker that's ever served in the military has high blood pressure. So you couldn't serve for it because sometimes it is hereditary. Well, thanks to the PACT Act, you can now file for hypertension, especially the Vietnam guys. Okay, what happens is when you file under the PACT Act, if you were boots on ground in Vietnam and exposed to toxins, and you are on medication, because most everybody diagnosed with hypertension is on medication to lower the blood pressure. The VA law, right? This is the 38 CFR. The raters, the VA will recognize that your hypertension is service connected. Okay, they will connect it. However, because you are on medication, they will grant it at 0%. So they acknowledge that it is service connected, but it's not severe enough to be compensated. Okay. So if you are on hypertension medication and you served in the military and you were exposed to Agent Orange or some toxins, please file for hypertension. However, just be aware that it is going to be 0% if you are on medication. And that's across the board. Okay,
so if I stop my medication, does my percentage go? Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't die.
My head.
Don't die.
If you stop doing PT and you get fat, it's okay. Because you'll still
we all get fat, right? We all get fat after we get out of service. Like, I haven't seen one skinny veteran 2 years. You're telling me you stayed thin the entire time after service. How many years you been out?
I've had a 6-pack the whole time.
Jesus.
I
watched him drink it.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody except Seth gets fat when we get out of service.
I think I actually, when I first got out, my first few years, I was probably in better shape.
When you got out? Well, less stress, right? Less 3 a.m. wake-ups.
More intelligent PT than just, you know what I mean? Yeah. I wasn't just doing overhead arm claps for hours.
I oh my God.
Like, how many family friends do we live in our life? That sucked.
Yeah. How many fire hydrants do you think we've done? Or like dirty dogs we've done in our lifetime?
So I led warm-ups one time.
Things like that anymore.
I led warm-ups one time at jiu-jitsu, and we got all done. He's like, "What the hell was that?"
They're good workouts.
Warm-up. What are you doing to me?
What is it called now? Do they not do the dirty dog or the fire hydrant? They don't do it. The mule kicks, right? Those suck. They don't do those anymore. Iron mics? Do they not do iron mics anymore?
No.
You can't do it's offensive to me.
They don't call even at the RTC. We don't call any of that stuff that.
Really?
So no.
I wouldn't know. I have no idea.
I've been out a minute. Yeah.
Just one.
Well, I just had one going in, right? So and I have a lot of cadets that are going through it, so it's into the recruit training command. So it's one of
my daughter.
They don't call that stuff that.
My daughter goes up for MEPS tomorrow for the physical. I told her, wear full panties, follow directions.
That's what I wore, man.
Go poop. Go poop before you have to get on that scale and do your height and weight. I mean, she's in good shape physically. Mentally, she's a little hit or miss. But physically, she's really good.
When my kid went in, I said the same thing. I'm like, yeah, let's see what he's going to get on that mental.
So she scored really well on the ASVAB. But she's a smart kid. She's just... So
Adopted?
Adopted? No. I birthed her. Oh, yeah. She is her mother's daughter, that's for sure. So no, I wish her well. She's texted me, she's like, Mom, I'm nervous. She's at the hotel, and I was like, you'll be fine, just follow instructions, just listen to what they say, wear full panties, don't wear any thongs, and then just have fun doing the duck walk. And I hope
I would have wear a thong.
Spread your cheeks, and I hope the butthole examination goes quick.
Yeah. Get ready to show you an old man your butthole.
I know, and she's so conservative when it comes to that stuff, right? And so I'm like, I didn't tell her it was coming, so it's coming.
I hope her recruiter did. Yeah, you're gonna bend over, you're gonna spread your cheeks, an old man's gonna look at your asshole.
Because nobody told me when I was in that gown sitting on that table, and he's like, okay, turn over, and I'm like, what? And he literally spread my cheeks, and I'm like, whoa, is this normal? Like, I'm so violated. But yeah, that's.
You ever do a flight physical?
I don't know.
So I did a flight physical, and I swear to God, I got the man with the most arthritic knuckles I've ever seen in my life.
I was lucky I got a female to do mine.
So. And his exact words were beforehand were, remember, you're the one that wants to go fly.
No, stop.
Yeah, I was like, oh God.
He did a prostate exam for a flight physical?
He didn't look for my prostate, but he was tickling the back of my teeth.
I have a bunch of friends who are pilots and crew chiefs and stuff, and none of them had to have a prostate exam. So
don't tell, sweetie.
Oh no, maybe it was just me.
No, maybe the guy had a little hots for you or something. Yeah. I don't want to hear it. The shit women are routine care, okay? Women's routine care. We got to be poked and prodded and pinched and clipped and burned, and I don't want to hear somebody.
Whatever you're into, lady.
Wax.
Whatever you're into.
All of it.
I mean, try anything once, right?
You to the curb. I'm gonna bring Trin on because she is also a motorcycle rider, and at that point, we will have like 5 motorcycle riders.
Yay! Hi, how are you?
Hey, you guys are like triggering my PTSD. I mean, we're talking MEPS. I was the flight aeromedical person that would have given you your flight physical, and so I'm
Trin.
Sorry.
You have large knuckles.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I was triggered by all of that.
Please take off your classroom for my flight physical.
Yeah.
I had a dude that took peanut butter and spread it there just to give us a little bit of, something different. I tell you.
That's awful.
I was working in the ER one time, and I came out of a patient's room, and I had one of those occult kits in my hand, and I had smeared peanut butter on it. And I said to the doc, I'm like, it doesn't taste like it's got blood. Throwing up.
I would have vomited.
See, air crew, man. We have some weird humor.
All right.
How's that
Allie,
taste?
Get your ass out of here. Go help some vets. Thank you for being on From the Ashes on About Face Media. Allie, we adore you.
Williams Rodriguez.
Allie, come ride with us.
So yes, let me get a little more time under my belts, but absolutely, it is on my goal list.
Okay.
For sure.
Allie's in Massachusetts.
Oh, see, I'm going to Virginia.
See, look, this is why I do this. I bring veterans together. This is why we do.
I will host you for a night. I have plenty of space.
Just one night.
Yeah,
yeah, just one. I don't want more than a night. Just one.
Good night, Allie. It's good to see you. Trin, how the heck are you?
Good. It is the month of the military child, so I thought I'd come and talk a little bit about children and stuff.
Tell us about military children, Trin. What's going on? First of all, you guys have been busy down there.
We have been. It's been some craziness, but I know that we're trying to open something. Our new office is down in San Antonio, so I'm very excited about that.
Is that where you
But
are?
sorry.
Is that where you are? Is San Antonio?
Yes, where it's nice all the time. You can ride every day.
Does Doug make you go all the way to Austin so that you can put criminals behind bars and defend veterans?
No, I do family law. So
Oh,
so none of that craziness. Although I guess I do a little bit of protective order stuff, but otherwise it's family law all day, every day.
well, I
But
have
but
military
yeah.
who are listening right now and are participating. So talk to them. Tell us about the military children.
Okay, so people have been asking about this best interest of the child standard that the courts use when people get divorced. And so I thought I'd talk a little bit about that because, the days of one parent being better than the other parent, as in, mom versus dad, are pretty much over, at least in Texas. And so if you're a dad that does a lot of primary care of your children, you have just as good a chance to have your kids as a custodial parent as mom ever did. And so I think a lot of our guys don't realize that they have a really good equal opportunity in family law to be a custodial parent. And I have clients either way. But this best interest standard is really what the court uses to say what's in the best interest of the children, which tells you the court doesn't care about the mom or the dad. They care about the children. And so all the shenanigans that you do, if it badly affects your children, then you ought to stop doing it because the court doesn't care about you and doesn't care about the other person, the other adult. They care about the kids. And that's what that whole best interest of the children is about.
So
Any questions?
I do. I have a 19 and a 21-year-old military child. How late is too late for me to have an abortion?
Nah. Well, you won't get it here in Texas.
No, but I live in Colorado, so I could make it happen.
And apparently, a lot of our Texans will go to Colorado. But yeah.
I'm them right now just to be safe. I mean, yeah, I don't want to have any further.
But yes. So anyways, it's. So that's my little pitch today. Oh, you know what? I want to tell you, I heard something crazy today, and I need to dispel a myth. Somebody said to me that their active duty spouse, the male, said, "I'm never going to give you a divorce." So I'm here to tell you the days of being married to somebody, if you don't want to be married to them because you're forced to, are over. Over. Stop saying that if that's what you're saying. A person can get divorced if they want to be divorced, and then nobody has to give it to them. They go to court and they ask for one and they get one.
So if Seth and I are married and he decides he wants to leave me and I don't want to give him the divorce, stop looking at me like that.
Then you call O'Connell West and ask for Trin, and I will get you divorced.
I'll call her tomorrow. I don't need to put up with you like this.
No benefits anymore.
Trin, what is the number that you're not?
Oh, you do this to me every week. I'm gonna give you my number because we're talking family law today. It's 210-441-8946.
So if you are a veteran, you are in Texas, and you need help with family law, call Trin at O'Connell West Law. What's that number one more time, Trin?
210-441-8946.
Trin, thank you so much for being a part of From the Ashes on About Face Media. I can't wait. As soon as Homeboy is back on two wheels, we will be down to party like rock stars with you. I love partying with lawyers.
You betcha. And I've got my fifth wheel ready for you if you need a place to stay.
Well, and now that Allie is on two wheels, this is going to be a good time. So I think it's going to be a good thing.
I think it's going to be amazing when she's riding.
Trin, this is my whole world. Joe helps
Hi.
with the Cycle Relief Project, the Women's Ride, which you are going to go on at some point soon.
Come on. Yes.
Registered. I mean, are you already signed up or are you not signed up yet?
She's not signed up yet. She doesn't even know about it, but you're going to hook her up.
I know.
Motor Relief, gotta go sign up.
As soon as I hang up, I'll go sign up. How cool is that?
Is that every woman who goes and signs up, every veteran that I have signed up, just say because Joe said so. You'll find the space for it, and you put it in there because Joe said so, and then they always call me and go, seriously, another one?
I will do that, Joe.
Trin, it's been great having you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank
we really
you.
appreciate having you on. Who do we have next week? Do you know?
Oh, I don't. Maybe Rich. I'm not sure.
Either one of you guys. Doesn't matter to us. We hope as long as we get you. So yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
And we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Wow, we're cranking it out tonight. It's good. It's a good time. It's a really good time. I'm having a blast. Do you need a music break? Or are you okay? Can you gut through another 5-10 minutes? I got you. You got this?
Mm-hmm.
Before we bring my best friend Cole on, should we do the safety brief? Or should we have Cole help us with the safety brief? We got to end with the safety brief. Okay. All right. Cole will help us with the safety brief.
You know that can placement is perfect, right?
It really is. I'm very, very happy with this. You're invited anytime. Joe, have you ever done yoga?
Oh.
You got the pants.
I have. These are some fabulous. I mean, look at these. I mean, come on. Those are fabulous. My Navy pants, right? No.
Why not?
Because let's see, I ride a motorcycle, so I don't ever have to ride a bicycle, and I carry a gun, so I don't ever have to run.
I'm not sure how that fits with yoga.
And I'm like, and yoga.
I tell you what, May is buddy month, and I need a buddy for yoga. So you're gonna come to yoga with me.
I won't be here in May.
Well, we will figure it out. We will go virtually. Hey, let me bring my buddy Cole on from Comeback Yoga. Well, how the heck are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm better now that you're here. Welcome to From the Ashes on About Face Media.
This is why we were segueing to yoga.
Yeah.
That's right.
You just wrangled me in just because of that. I'm like, I don't have the
No,
little.
we're trying to wrangle you in because yoga's good.
Yeah. I invited him, but he put on the pants and he looks like he's smuggling plums.
He's already got 6-pack abs. I don't know that I have those underneath anywhere.
So for you, if you don't know, Cole is the boss lady at Comeback Yoga. And Comeback Yoga is like, hey, you suck at yoga. You should go suck a little less. Go be an instructor. So she sent me to instructor training. Oh, good news. I can touch my toes as of yesterday.
Yes. Joe, I saw that.
That's my adventure yoga. That's
Yeah,
my motorcycle.
adventure
I'm riding
yoga.
an ADV bike. I'm like, it's adventure yoga. You can't.
That should be a t-shirt. Cole, tell us about Comeback Yoga, what it is, what you do.
Yeah, so Comeback Yoga works specifically to bring yoga to the military community. So that means veterans, active military, spouses, kids, whatever part of the military you might be involved in. And our yoga is specifically designed for you all. So it's not necessarily that try to touch your toes stuff, even though I'm really glad you can, Rob. I'm really excited about that for you.
No, it took 3-4 years.
Only 3 or 4 years. That's pretty good. So it's really about bringing community together and supporting with different tools that can help folks wherever they are in life.
We're actually doing a lot of it at the American Legion up in Alaska.
Are you really?
We are.
That's super bad.
Nice.
You set a standard and others are trying to catch up to
We
you.
do. And I use it. So I use it on a daily basis or at least a weekly basis with my JROTC cadets. And so we're shooting and things like that. I watch everybody else do yoga. That's why I can touch my toes.
So yesterday, I brought my wife to Samadhi for one of my fellow instructor candidates. Her birthday party was yesterday at Samadhi. So she did yoga, and then we went next door to Walter's and had pizza for her birthday. And I don't know, you haven't met my wife yet, but you'll meet her on graduation night.
I'm so excited.
My wife is hyper competitive. And she did not win yesterday at yoga, so she didn't enjoy herself all that much. But I'm trying to explain to her, baby, just showing up, you won.
Well, and that's the really cool thing about doing something like Battle Buddy Month is that it isn't usually your first time that you like yoga. I mean, there's 10% of the population that the first time they do yoga, they're in love. The rest of us are like, what is this? What's the benefit? And why didn't I win? And so it takes a little bit of time. And so if you can bring somebody along and you start to feel the benefits over time, it's like, oh, okay, this is better. I understand why this is valuable now.
So one of the other instructors came to Zenith Authentic Jiu-Jitsu Academy to put a class on, would have been 2 weeks ago. And she did a yoga nidra class, and she played the salad bowl and the breakfast
bowl. Salad bowls.
Yes. And there was no salad in them, which was super weird.
Fruit Loop bowl?
Yeah, it was really weird. But homeboy here really enjoyed it, and so we're going to be making it a semi-regular thing here. My hetero life mate Seth really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Meditation too, and that was the craziest meditative state I'd ever been in. It was amazing.
Those salad bowls are incredible, aren't they?
They are.
So are there? Okay, I have a question about salad bowls. Are there different hertz frequencies that come out of those salad bowls?
Yeah, so there's depending on how they're shaped or the height and then the depth of if it's crystal or metal, they all have different levels, and then those resonate with different parts of your body a little bit differently.
So I'm one of those that they've started the hertz therapy on. So they
Oh,
have
cool.
hertz
I
therapy.
thought that was the
at night.
rental car company.
Not the yellow one. They've been doing the hertz resonance therapy with me to see if that would help with my PTSD.
You have got to do yoga nidra, dude.
Yeah.
Got to.
It's some crazy stuff.
It's
Not
awesome.
crazy like why it was just yeah. Again, I regularly meditate. Really into it, think it's amazing. Never have I ever gotten to where I was that night. It was incredible.
All because of
And
you, boss lady.
I felt amazing after too. That was the cool part as well. Like I just felt like everything was cleared. I was thinking clear. I felt great.
So the salad bowls are really cool. And just for those who maybe don't know that we're joking, they're singing bowls that make different sounds, and you use like a mallet and you move the mallet along the rim, and that's how the sound comes out. But yoga nidra is a type of, well, it's sort of like meditation. It's slightly different, but it's guided, and it helps your brain get into a specific state that you can integrate some of our experiences, past or current, a little more fully than you could if you can't get to there. And the only other place that they show that you can do that is through REM sleep. So if you can't sleep, which I know a lot of veterans can't, or don't get great sleep, yoga nidra is a really great tool to support in some of that way of integrating life experiences.
I did get an amazing night of sleep after.
Did you?
Oh, incredible.
Huh. I'm interested. So that hertz therapy, that's what they had me.
I found my buddy for May. I know who I'm bringing.
Yeah, you did.
So
And don't worry, whether you're in Alaska or anywhere else, you can still come because we're also virtual.
Boom. What up,
No
dog?
excuses. You're in.
What up, dog?
I hate all of you. Oh,
So, Cole, you are here for a very specific reason. You have a big event coming up in May. Tell the world about what's going on with Comeback Yoga in May.
Yeah. So we know why we do what we do. And Rob, you know why we do what we do. And Seth, it sounds like you do too. But we also know that yoga is weird and that it's not necessarily something everybody knows about or why it's valuable. And so what we're hoping to do is that folks like the two of you who know the value of yoga can say, hey, you know what? It's really helped me. I've slept really great. I've never meditated this depth before, or my body feels better. My knee doesn't hurt as much, or my low back feels better. All the reasons that you might benefit from yoga, to say, hey, buddy, come with me, and to give them that push so that they can come and see what it's about. Like I said earlier, it's not about a one-time thing. It really does take a little bit of time to see what is this about. Rob, I think you actually did enjoy it your first time. Aren't you one of those like one and changed folk?
So, but I had Brian as an instructor, and then he was like the other side of the pillow. So,
you
yeah.
felt squishy on the inside.
Yeah.
You felt squishy on the inside.
I
His
found
little heart just burst.
immediately. So, yeah. Between Brian and Maddie, I mean, how can I not love yoga? Come on now.
You know what I found is like a veteran, combat veteran out of the military. I never did it before. I was out. What turned me off so much is what I appreciate the most now, which was, the meditation, the breathing, all the woo-saw part. I fucking hated it. I was like, if I could just go to a fucking yoga studio, not hear this breathing and crystals and weird shit and just like stretch, I would like it. And then, so I did find some yoga studios that were very much like that, cut all that out. And then I randomly started meditating and doing the breathing in yoga. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, the part that turned me out the most was some of the most beneficial aspects of it.
Well, that's what I've grown to really like about it, because so Cole pushes me into this class at Samadhi. And the first time I walked into that place, I'm like, what the hell is this place, man? I mean, it's like a hippie commune. And so you walk in, and, you know, in my head, I'm like making fun of these people that are like charging their crystals on the windowsill in the moonlight and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. But I've made some of the best hippie friends I've ever had. I had no idea this was coming. I'll never be able to thank you enough, Cole, for the friends I've made in this class. They've become super cool. And
He needs a hug.
yeah, he does.
Give him one for me.
Yeah. The granola hippies have become my favorite. That's the closest I've ever gotten to a compliment. You're doing great.
That was great.
So, and that's a part of being a veteran that we need to work on, is the rest of the world doesn't know what we have done and what we have gone through and what we have experienced. And it is our job to bring that to them and to experience what they've experienced. Oh, wow, I do sound like a hippie. Holy shit.
It happened. It happened, Rob. You transformed.
Next to have dreadlocks and be wearing Birkenstocks and, like, you know, eating granola for lunch and shit. Good Lord. What have you done?
I know there is enough leg hair that you probably could.
Yeah, I'm gonna go live in a tree.
I can't wait. You'll bring all of your yoga teacher friends with you too.
It has been a great experience. I've learned a ton, and I'm really looking forward to being unleashed upon the world to rain this chaos down upon the veteran community. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm so glad. And you know, you're going to be such a great teacher for this community and really bring them something that will bridge what those of us who, you know, haven't lived the military life, but know that yoga can support. It's folks like you who've experienced it and now are trained to do it that can bring it into this community and say, hey, look, I know it's weird, but try it and see what you think. So thank you.
Don't disagree. Hey, if people are wanting to become involved with Comeback Yoga in the month of May, other than my girl Joe here, who's going to be my battle buddy for May, how can other people participate with Comeback Yoga through the month of May for Battle Buddy Month?
So if they head over to comebackyoga.org, they will see on the front page all of the information they need to know about Battle Buddy Month, including our kickoff class that's going to be at the river starting May 1st. And then every day we'll have classes. So May 1st is a great way to start. That'll be at 2 p.m. Mountain Time for those of you who are local, and we'll be streaming it on our Facebook page. So those of you who are not local can still join. Joe, I think that's you who's going to be joining that way. And, you know,
the
river is at 6th and something in Denver, or 8th and I forget what in Denver.
You know, I'm still here on the 1st, right?
Are you? Badass, dude. Let's do it. The river.
Oh, come.
Let's do this.
Let's
go
do it. Come on.
Yeah, man. Let's go do some dancer
As long as the other dude who does my oil change for me, then yes, I could go do that on the 1st.
Adis is still listening, so yeah, we got this, dog.
No.
Okay, great. Joe, I expect
you are entirely funded by donations. Let's say people have way too much money sitting in their bank account right now, and they just want to give it away to you. How do they do that?
Please do. Same place. Head to comebackyoga.org, and on that website there is a donate button, and it'll walk you through the steps. Put all of your information in there, and we'll take your money.
That's awesome.
Cole, the platform is yours. What else do you want to tell the world? You have everyone's rapt attention right now. Take the next 2 minutes, say whatever you want to the whole veteran community.
Well, I think the first thing I'll say is you can also win prizes. So I know that everybody likes a good prize. So there's Yeti mugs. If you really love yoga, there'll be yoga mats. So there's some stuff that you can win. So participate in Battle Buddy Month. And mostly thank you for what you've done. You know, I know that all of you have given and sacrificed in ways that those of us who haven't can never really truly understand. And in this one small way, I'm so grateful that I'm able to support you all. And I really believe in it. It's something that has shifted my life and my life experience. And I really do believe it can support all of us. So hopefully this type of yoga, this kind that is made for military community, can support all of you in just being the best versions of yourself possible, which is just enhancing who you already are.
Wow.
That was awesome.
I know, she's deep, isn't she?
She's making you all passionate too.
I know.
Like, oh, look at this.
It's bad, man. It's super bad. That's why I go there. I'm telling you, man. She's good at what she does.
I will, which I rarely do. How do you know if I can do this. I'm so used to only making fun of you.
Here we go.
But-
All these kinds of feelings
But-
going. He does.
I was happily surprised when I did my first yoga class with you that you didn't totally suck. No,
Like,
honestly, you taught a very good yoga class. It was perfect for the people. And so for those out there listening, if you ever want to drop into
Zenith Authentic.
a Rob, I almost said jiu-jitsu. God, that's never happened.
Never gonna teach jujitsu.
Well, I'm not sure if they're frozen or if I'm frozen, but if
No,
they're the
no,
ones
no.
frozen,
We're live. You're good.
we're live.
We
Oh,
got
good. I was like, who's frozen? But you all froze in the most perfect laughter moment. Everybody had their head back. It was just brilliant. I just got to enjoy it for a minute.
So, Cole, we always close out every show, and because you decided to come on late, and we really, really appreciate you being here tonight.
Yeah.
Close out every show with a safety briefing because
Great.
it's Monday, so we want to be safe throughout the week. So I'm going to give you the opportunity. You can give the first part of our safety briefing. Pick something and tell the world to be safe in some way.
Yeah. So I have recently lost somebody to suicide. And so my first safety briefing is if you are going through something, anything that you do not think you can handle alone, please reach out to somebody. Whether that is the suicide prevention line or if it is a friend, somebody that you just think can support you, please, please, please reach out.
Good one. That's a real good one. See,
I don't know how to
you're
follow
welcome
that.
back. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
Come
know.
on now.
So mine is always swim with a buddy.
Yes.
Don't forget your floaties because I'm not a very good swimmer. So yeah.
Joe?
Big
Mine
Joe?
is a ride fast, don't die thing. So I mean, it's just
That's a good one.
Good
Right
advice.
fast, so tight.
Yeah, right fast, don't die.
We are advocates.
Keep the rubber side down. I like that.
Yep, we are advocates here. Other than don't buy a Harley, you got one? I'm always gonna fit it in. Junior's like throwing
Eventually
shit
you'll
at the
learn
radio right
that.
now.
Good. I hope he throws shit at you when you walk in the door tonight. Let's see here.
Every time I fall over, all he does is stand there and point and laugh, which happens a lot. So,
Don't pee in the wind.
ooh, that's a good one. Oh, I hope you can follow that.
Oof. Man, that was good.
There's a amount of trickle that just gets on the boots. It just happens.
Well, on that note, we are going to call it a night. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to From the Ashes on About Face Media. Thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight. Cole from Comeback Yoga, really appreciate you being a part of it. Trin with O'Connell West Law. David Ortiz, thank you for keep doing what you're doing and representing our nation. Sorry you couldn't join the show, but we totally get it, man. You're doing good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, go check out the Motorcycle Relief Project. Go check out Comeback Yoga and go check out O'Connell West Law if you want to get divorced. And I highly recommend it. So have a great night.